This may be the best shotgun microphone around. It's the Sony ECM-M1, and I'm really impressed with its 8 settings when it comes to where audio is coming from. So this setting right now is the super directional, so it's really directed in front of the camera. And so when I'm actually moving around, you'll notice that the sound actually kind of goes out a bit. So as I'm circling around, you'll notice that it'll get better and better as I'm directly in front of the camera. But now let's change the setting to something else. This setting right here is a bit different, where obviously it's giving me that vlog setting, but it's a bit wider. So in case I have like 1 or 2 people with me that we want to have a conversation, cool. And as I'm walking around the camera, you're also going to notice that the sound does get better while I'm directly behind the camera. So let's say I'm filming the PC that you're looking at right now. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that you can do with a microphone that does something like this. But now the next setting. Now let's say that I want to actually film something, so I'm behind the camera, but I want to do some audio, I want to talk about it. Well, that's what this setting actually is. You'll notice in front of the camera or to the side, I'm actually not too good when it comes to the audio, but now behind the camera, I'm probably sounding pretty darn good. That's the purpose of this. So it really is canceling out the audio everywhere else except for where I'm actually standing. Next setting. Now let's say you're in an outdoor environment like the woods and you just want to be able to capture all of the birds and the rivers and just everything going around you. That's really what this is. So it's just picking up everything. This is a setting that you may not use all the time, especially in a loud environment, but in the right environment, it's probably clutch. Next audio setting. Now this one is really interesting because let's say we're doing some type of interview in front and behind the camera. It's actually separating the channels between left and right. This is really good in post-production where let's say that you just want the audio to sound really good for one person but really not as good for another person, or you just need to do different gain levels. It basically gives you options, which is really, really cool. Now this setting is stereo, and I absolutely love stereo. So let's say that we're actually at a music event or a lot of people just around, like left, right, center, behind. This is something that will give you that nice stereo quality and is a really interesting way of filming events. So you have a lot of different options. I love stereo, but obviously you need the headphones. Coming from a cell phone or tablet, you may not get the full benefit. So depends on really what you're doing. Now this setting for the Sony ECM-M1 is actually kind of interesting. It's more of a wider front view. So let's say you have even more people in front of you. You really do want to pick up their audio. Say like I'm in a crowd, but I want the crowd sounding but nothing behind me, or just like an interview of different people around me. That's really what this is. I probably have this on a tripod because doing it like this is not the way to go because it is wider. So you can probably hear me perfectly fine right here and right here. And that's good. It's good to have these options. But for the most part, for my daily, say, vlog use, this is the setting I'm going to use. It's the super directional, so very fine. It just wants to pick up the audio directly in front of the camera, not way over here, not way over here, or definitely anywhere behind. So it's going to give me the cleanest sound. This also is set to kind of a noise cancellation mode, and the decibel levels you can choose from a switch, basically 0, 10, or 20. For me, 10 sounds the best. So this, in general, is the Sony ECM-M1 Shotgun Microphone. Let me know your thoughts. I think a microphone with features like this that are just as simple as a dial is just brilliant. And in case you're afraid of actually moving the dial and not knowing, behind the scenes, like what setting it's on, if you're in a rush or a crowded environment, you can actually just press a button and it locks it in as well. So there's nice security. Basically, they thought of almost everything with this shotgun microphone. So let me know your thoughts on this. I'm a big fan, and I'm going to have a link for this in my bio. Not paid or sponsored content. I bought this with my own money, but when I find something I really like, I like to share the info.